Hello everyone. So I know you guys are probably not expecting something like this. I know that this is my music channel and I haven't posted in a while, but as I've mentioned it on my Instagram. I haven't mentioned it on here directly or anything yet. I've been going through a lot of medical issues these past couple years now. Um, not, I don't want to say like I've been like in and out of the hospital the past couple years. It's really just been this year, but I've noticed some issues even as starting as early as at least the beginning of last year or January of 2025. Um, so what I'm wearing right now is just basically they're checking to see if I have any sort of epilepsies or seizures of that kind of nature, and so this is just a standard 3-day ambulatory EEG. So it's a at-home one. So I just get to wear all the equipment, the probes go on my head, to track my brain waves and brain activity both day and night. So when I'm sleeping and awake and doing my normal daily activities as well. So I want to kind of keep this not too long. I want to keep it pretty brief, but at the same time, there's a lot of uncertainty right now with what's been going on with my health. We're still not 100% for sure what it is. We are finally maybe making definitely making some progress in the beginning. So all this stuff, we'll just start back. It's really started back in April. This year is when everything just came on really all of a sudden. But leading up to April of this year, I was having all of these kind of crazy symptoms and things, but they would be intermittent and it wouldn't be all the symptoms all at once. So, for example, one day it would just be like I would just get like a really bad twitch, or one day if I was cleaning the shower with like the squeegee or the thing to get the water drops down, when I had my handle on that, my whole arm and my shoulder would just get like very fatigued and weak. And I would keep trying to, do it. And I'm like, oh, push through it. I'll be okay. I work out. Or maybe I just thought I was tired that day or something. But then they kind of happened more and more as time went on, leading up to this here in this April, when the first attack or episode really happened. So, so I was having all those symptoms like that. I was also having, I had a couple spells where I almost passed out from, if I would like get up from a couch or chair and stand up. And I would just get really like in this trance all of a sudden, like tunnel vision, dizzy, just completely out of it. And it was scary, you don't know what that is. You don't know if you're having like a stroke or something. Everything gets kind of woozy and you're almost tripping and falling. And one of them actually happened at my work on break. And I think I almost made some noises. I was going like, oh, because I didn't know if like anybody would know if I passed out up there because I was all by myself in the upper break room. But so I had a lot of scary symptoms, and I had plenty more, which I'm not going to go too into detail here. I want to keep going with the point of the whole video. So leading up to, with all those symptoms, April arrived, and I think it was about the second week of April, I just felt terrible. I remember one night in particular, I think it was that Friday night heading into the weekend. I remember I went to lay down, and as I laid in my bed, everything was alright. I wasn't really in any pain or anything. But I just had like this internal tremor, vibration feeling. And it was the weirdest feeling. And it didn't hurt or anything, but it felt like your whole body and your spine was like shaking like this constantly. But like in your spine and in your body internally. Like I don't know if you could actually see if I was shaking. But it just, this intense shaking feeling. And it felt like an earthquake, just constant, just... And it's like impossible for me to sleep, or probably anybody to sleep with that kind of shaking feeling. And like I said, luckily it didn't hurt like each time, but it just was more annoying and just uncomfortable discomfort from that. And so anyways, I remember that night I accidentally woke up my mom with that. And I finally got tired enough and fell asleep through it at like 2 in the morning because it was that bad. I literally had to get that tired to do it and to fall asleep from it. And then... what was it? The whole days leading up, Monday, Tuesday of that following week, I started just getting more and more symptoms. Something was just wrong, and I could just tell because I'm usually never the type to go to the ER or complain and stuff. And it came Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon. And I was at work. I was like, I feel terrible. Something's not right. I'm feeling like off balance, tipsy. I'm having all these crazy symptoms. My vision's weird and stuff, like kind of blurry and just distorted and just like off coordinated. and almost felt like you're kind of like drunk or something. I hate to say it, but it was kind of like you're own in your own trance, or just in a different space of the world, basically in your own world. It feels like. And I just remember after work, my dad picked me up, and I just told him, I don't something's wrong. Like I know my body, and I think I even started crying. I was like, something is not right. Like this, it was terrible. I was frightened because I didn't know what was going on. I've never felt anything like this in my life. So we go to the ER, and they treated it, and they didn't really know what was going on, so they gave me, I think, like some fluids and stuff, like those saline packets or whatever, and all that through the IV, and discharged me and told me, and they checked blood work. Blood work was okay. My glucose, I think, was like a little high or something. Probably it could be from the stress, or could be from whatever's going on. But they released me. It wasn't like extraordinary high, but yeah, they did end up releasing me. And sorry guys, I know this is gonna be like cut off from the first part there. It's just my parents came home, so I had to let them in and stuff. And our dog, or Westy, was going crazy. But so yeah, so they did obviously end up eventually releasing me. I remember the nice lady, or the nice nurse, she told me, take a couple days off to rest and relax for a little bit, and get you're in the right headspace, get everything calmed down, and just relax and try to see if we can get back to normal or better equilibrium. And so I did that. I took the following day off, that Thursday off, and still was having a lot of symptoms, a lot of balance issues, coordination kind of issues, a lot of balance though. Mostly felt like I was tipping to my left a lot, leaning to my left, my neck, and everything. Felt like it feels like somebody had a magnet and they're like pulling you to your left, like constantly. So you have to counteract that and think anything you do getting up from a chair, try to get up on your right side, or just remember to lean to your right, or put more pressure to your right a little bit. Excuse me. So yeah, so that was like the main issues, and then I was having some vision issues, and just was having all kinds of symptoms. Forgetfulness, those were like the most worrying ones. Like I was having forgetfulness, some cognitive issues. I just noticed like I was doing things at work that I usually know how to do, and was like forgetting how to do them, or just not able to comprehend how to do them. And they were simple things, and things like I already had ingrained, like trained down day one stuff that was like in the book, in the back of my head, like shouldn't even have to think or even stress about doing. And so yeah, so I go in that Friday, and the nurse or the ER wrote me off for both Thursday and Friday, but I wanted to go in on Friday because we were already so short of staff, because I already had like a lady from my work that was out with like a surgery, and there was a whole bunch of other people out, and so we were already really short string. So I'm like, I'm gonna at least make a fighting effort and try to go in Friday. Well, I was doing good until Friday afternoon, or that afternoon, and I just was terrible. I remember my vision, everything got weak. Felt like my whole side of my right face drooped, and I was like tipping, barely could keep myself up. I was bracing myself out with my left arm on the wall just to make sure I stood upright and didn't fall over on my left side. And so I had a lot of those crazy symptoms, which landed me back in the ER. And basically from there on out, it was clusters of going to the ER every once or twice a week, until about the end of May here, just with those same issues, forgetfulness, all these issues. They thought I had this one condition that was a pretty rare condition, and because my MRI, I did get an MRI, and they showed signs of this one condition, which we now ruled out, and I'm not diagnosed with it because I did further testing, and that came back okay. So it seems like it's not going to be that, which I'm very happy for. But as of lately, there is another test that I did, blood work test, and it actually did come back positive for an autoimmune condition. I'm not going to say what it is right now, just until I get officially diagnosed, this time, because before I thought for sure I had that other condition that they found on the MRI, but it wasn't that. So I want to make sure we know concrete and 100% for sure that this is the condition before, disclosing that to anyone except for, like my close family and stuff, like my parents. But I did test positive for this antibody for that, in question, autoimmune condition. And apparently the antibody is actually very rare. it says very rare. It can't even tell me like what percent online or how, or it tells you like what percent. I think it says only like 1 to 5% of cases of it have that antibody. So it's actually pretty rare. So it's like that makes me kind of skeptical if I have it. And plus, if it is, it's like wow, like what are the odds, you know? But and of course it had to be something like that. But anyways, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with what I'm knowing, and then like I'm doing with right now is the EEG, the standard 3-day ambulatory at-home EEG. So I don't have to record every moment of what I'm doing. I'm just feeling, you know, the need and urge to want to put this out, you know, on YouTube about updating you guys on just overall my health, not just because I'm wearing all this, but just I figure it was a good point in time to make a video. And with everything going on, you know, being in the hospital, and some days I'm not as able and stuff. I've had days where I couldn't even drive just because I was so out of it, uncoordinated. Just felt terrible, and I can tell luckily that hey, I don't feel good. Like I don't think I could drive today, mom or dad or my sister. It's like I can't. Like I'm not going to risk getting in an accident. Like sometimes my judging of distances and things, it's just I've had a lot of different symptoms, and those are like the most concerning ones because it's like how am I supposed to, you know, drive and be able to do those certain tasks that I usually always can do. And there's some days it's better. And that's what gives me hope with all this is that I've had like the month of June was my best month so far, and I'm kind of having some of the symptoms kind of come back in, but I'm learning trying not to stress about them so much because now I learned from the first time that this isn't, you know, gonna kill me. In the beginning I thought, man, I didn't know what hit me. It just came on so sudden and so severe and so just boom, like out of the blue and really bad, that I thought I literally didn't know if I was dying or getting some sort of really serious weird illness, who knows. No, excuse me. And so I didn't know in the beginning. I was genuinely scared. I wasn't sleeping well, wasn't sleeping right. I just could not go to sleep. And when I did go to sleep, it'd only be for a couple hours. I wake up at midnight or 2 in the morning, stay up for an hour, then sleep another couple hours, and then wake up at 4 or 5. So it was really rough with all that. And so now I'm just trying not to, you know, stress about it because I know I can push through, and I did it before once, and there's no reason I can't, you know, push through anything in the future. And I think that's a great lesson for anybody is look back on what you've gotten through and those tough times that you already went through in your life and use that to fuel the engine, fuel, you know, your vehicle, your train, or whatever you want to call it, fuel your, you know, your ability to keep pushing and keep walking, to keep whatever it is that you're going through, any sickness, any illness, any, you know, a breakup, losing a job, or not getting promoted, anything. Use that to motivate you to you know, go to a higher standard and a higher ceiling. There are a couple other things I didn't want to talk about. I'm not going to make this too much longer. It's really made me realize how much everything in life is the most important things in your life are. You know, before you're always thinking about, oh, all the money and all these things and stuff. And it's now made me just realize in a nutshell, just all the little things in life are so important. And I mean, I might get, I get a little emotional, but it's just, there's certain things like the little things that you can't replace and you can't take back. And those things like being with your family and with your friends and having a good time and doing what you can, you know, to the best, you know, of your ability of happiness, and just trying to be good and do good things for your life and for others is, I think, the most important things in life. And I think we all take it for granted. I've taken it for granted, and I've learned that more and more now with all the medical issues, is that you got to take care of your health. You have to be your own advocate, and you have to look after yourself and listen to your body and treat yourself right. And note that if something's wrong, listen to your body, listen to your symptoms, and write it down or record it, whatever you have to do, and write it, and just keep a log on it, keep tabs, and just keep an open mind on it. Because I really, if you want my genuine opinion, I really think I've had whatever I've had for a long time now, and I just had subtle symptoms, and I kind of, you know, put it off because you're like, oh, that's weird, but, you know, it's not debilitating, it's not crippling me, it's not anything that's going to mess up my life for good or anything. When all along, I think it's been something that I've exhibited signs over the years for, and now maybe it progressed or something happened. So just keep an open mind about your health, your life, your family and stuff, and like the important things in life. And I'm staying positive. Like, I don't know what's in store and what's to come with this, if that is that condition, and if there is something else besides that condition, because I'm kind of skeptical that I might have something else as well based on some other symptoms, because I'm just having so many symptoms right now. But thank God I have, I have a really good neurologist and a really good team of doctors and staff that have been helping me through this. So I'm just trying to trust the process, which is easier said than done, with all this uncertainty, because you don't know what the end verdict's going to be. Is it going to be something really terrible that you only have a couple years to live, or 10 years or whatever? It's just all that uncertainty, and I'd be lying if I'd say I'm handling it well, because I'm not. There's definitely a lot that worries me and bothers me, as I think it would anyone. And it's, I'm just trying to, instead of looking down the road, I try to take it day by day. But whenever, whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen. But it's all about what you do with what you can control and do. And I'm just trying to remind myself of that. And then this last topic is definitely a pretty saddening one. I'm just praying like no other family has it. Like my sister or my parents don't develop it later. They never had anything like this at their age. So that's what's kind of makes this really questionable about what's going on. Not that things can't change in genetics and crazy stuff can happen. I mean, we're all life, and this is humans, and wild stuff happens in the world of science and DNA and all that. But I'm really worried about like my sister, because she's showed kind of similar symptoms that I showed back when I was like a teenager and stuff. Back in middle school, I was having all kinds of like certain symptoms and tics and like kind of Tourette's or disorder. I had a specific one. I still kind of exhibit it, where I, like you might seen on the camera, where I would go like that and like gasp for air. Well, I have that one, and my sister kind of has that one as well. And so that's one sign I'm kind of worried about, that I'm praying she doesn't have the same condition or develop it later, or if she does, hopefully I'm praying God she doesn't, or any of my family, but if they do, hopefully later on, or hopefully not that bad at all. But that's, I think, the two biggest uncertainties and worries right now is praying like that this doesn't get super terrible and much worse, and what the down the road looks like, which I'm trying not to focus too much on, but I'm really hoping the outlook is pretty good for this. And then B is just like, if my sister or my family has it, especially like my sister, it makes me really sad. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to, break down in front of you guys, but that's basically where I'm at. A lot of my stresses with all my health. So I just figured I'd kind of update you guys on this. And I know it's a little bit longer than I kind of wanted it to be. But yeah, it's just, I've had a lot of crazy symptoms. I've had some trouble swallowing, and all the, you're having all these crazy symptoms. And, luckily I have great tests, results so far that have came back, for the most part, that it came back negative with a lot of worrying things that I thought I really could have. And there was one that I really thought I had that was negative. So I just got to keep looking at the good, and, try not to focus so much on the negative. And when the negative does happen, have that game plan, have that warrior mindset to go in, attack it, moment by moment, day by day, and just keep fighting the good fight when I have to, and what I got to do to get through, every day and every moment, step by step. So, like I said, I just want to thank you guys for watching and listening. And I know it's not a music video, and I haven't posted one in a while, and I think it's because of what's been going on with my health and life. And so I just want you guys just to kind of, understand that's kind of where I'm at right now. So thank you guys, again, for all your time and listening into, my health and all this. I know it's kind of a lot and kind of a rant, ramble kind of thing. I didn't really get a script together of what I was going to say. I just had a couple points in my head that I really kind of wanted to get off and clear off my mind. So I'm going to continue to wear this, and today's Friday night, so I got to wear it till Monday, 3 days. So I'm hoping we get some good information out of this, and if any events happen, I can press the button here to log it. So just trying to keep track, and do what I have to do. But I hope you guys all have a great weekend, a great rest of the year. I'm probably going to make more videos of health and maybe music and stuff and just updates of life and my stuff down the road here. But once again, guys, thank you, and hope you guys have a great weekend, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.